my name is Jason J. Rock Houston, and you guys are listening to an interview being done for Riffs magazine. Tonight I'm speaking with Bolt Boys guitarist Nick Roz. How you doing tonight, Nick?
I'm well, man. Thanks. How are you?
I'm great. Now, you've been the guitar player with Bolt Boys for how many years now, Nick?
I'm looking at, well, I think we're officially 5 years now.
Oh, wow. Now, going back in time, could you share with us how you first got the gig?
Yeah, you know, I had been bopping around for a while. I'd been in a lot of different bands, and a lot of this stuff's always kind of about timing, you know, and then I had known Mark from around, and then we bumped into each other and started talking about the stuff, and then, you know, lo and behold, he kind of needed a guitar player, and I was available. I was kind of in between things at the time, and I started off as, you know, doing one run. I brought a couple of other guys in with me.
Oh, cool, cool.
And, you know, started off as one run, and then it turned into 5 years.
Yeah, now let me ask you, how big of a Bolt Boys fan were you before you joined the band?
Right, you know, yeah, of course. Me, a big Bolt Boys, yeah, I mean, that first record's really probably one of the more solid records from that time, you know, right towards the end of that late 80s, early 90s period, you know, and yeah. I was always really familiar with the record, and I always dug it, and, you know, they're always one of those bands where, like, I think everybody individually was always really great.
Yeah.
You know, you had four guys that were great at what they did, and all in one unit. You know, it was a solid record. And
now let me ask you, when you joined the band, was Mark's attitude kind of like he wanted you to play those tunes the way Mick Sweeta played them, or are you allowed to come in and kind of put your your little spin on the tunes?
You know, I always wind up putting my spin on something. You know, I always kind of try and keep it, you know, kind of straight how the record is. I mean, there's really not too far you can stray.
Yeah.
We're a little bit different. We kind of do it as a two-guitar thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Mark plays guitar. He had been doing that long before I played with him, you know. So we have the benefit of having two guitars where we can kind of add a little bit more to it live, you know.
Yeah.
But there's really, I mean, you can only kind of get so creative, you know. I mean, you kind of have to keep it straight to what the tune sounds like, you know, what everybody knows. But we do have that ability with two guitars to be able to kind of broaden the scope of the song a little bit, make it bigger, you know, and kind of take it to a more modern it up a little bit louder, you know.
Yeah, and you know, I gotta tell people that I seen you guys earlier this year when you went on tour with Gilby Clarke and Quiet Riot. What was that tour like? Because I mean, the night I saw you guys, you were just really on fire. I mean, I think people would be surprised that, you know, they think, oh, you know, Bolt Boys, Mark's the only original member, but I mean, you guys, you know, are a pretty good live band. I got to tell people.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, well, you know, what you're getting is, first of all, on the front lines, you know, you have myself, Mark, and our bass, you know, Chad. Chad joined when I joined. So you have three guys in front that have been playing together for 5 years. You know, which arguably is just about as long as the original lineup lasted.
Yeah, yeah,
you know? So you definitely have that aspect, you know, which I think has become important, you know, to have that kind of stability up front. That tour, you probably, were you at Anaheim?
Yeah, I was at the Anaheim show, and it was really...
The Blues, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got us right in the beginning, too. I mean, before we left for 6 weeks. I mean, we did LA the night before, then Anaheim. Or San Diego, LA, then Anaheim. And so you got us night 3, right before we were gearing up to leave on a bus for 6 weeks. But we're in us every night. We're an active band, you know?
Yeah. And I got to say, that tour was really great, too, because it was like a great 80s kind of, 80s rock band kind of package. And what I loved, especially about Quiet Riot, is, you know, a lot of people might be surprised to hear that, you know, of course, you know, it's hard to replace a guy like Kevin Dubrow, but, you know, Jizzy's a pretty decent singer, and I think that just goes to show, you know, what a great band they are, and that those, you know, how powerful those songs are, you know, that you know.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, Jizzy was great every night, I gotta say, you know, and he really held his own, and again, keeping it, you know, as close to the original as possible. And it's harder as a singer, of course, because everyone's got different vocal cords, but, you know, yeah, he was great every night. His performance was always really solid. You know, that tour was interesting. You know, we were out for a solid 6.5 weeks, but, you know, it wound up being that whole package, mainly on the weekends.
Yeah.
So we were doing a lot of headline shows on that run, and then we would team up with Quiet Riot on the weekends, and, you know, Gilby was doing Select Dates, and, you know, Faster Pussycat, who we do a lot of touring with in general.
Yeah.
You know, so one of those nights where it was all 5 acts, it was a great night. I mean, those package things are always really strong during the summer.
Yeah.
It kind of give everybody more bang for their buck. It always seems to work out, you know.
And what amazed me about that show is, you know, I think actually, you know, the crowd for all the bands were pretty good, but I got to say when the Bull Boys came on, you know, just everybody was on the floor, and you know, I was just totally amazed that, you know, for you know, being that you guys been together 5 years and you're not the original lineup, I was amazed at, you know, how huge the crowd was. I got to tell people, you know, the place, you really had the place rocking that night.
Thanks, yeah, and you know, I think it's been a long time since there hasn't been an original lineup.
Yeah.
Now people just kind of get used to it, and they know what they're going to get. You know, I think if there's anything, they might walk in not expecting us to do what we do.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe they think we're going to phone it in, which is the furthest thing from the truth, because that's that show we do when we're on our own, or if we're headlining, or if we're on a package or a festival or whatever it might be. It's the same every night. I got to say we are generally pretty consistent with that.
Yeah.
You know, so again, maybe we have to continue to prove that we're, you know, not that original band, but I think it's been enough time that people kind of know that they're not going to get that. It's just good to surprise them and let them see how good we can really be.
Yeah, and you guys have put out a few records since you joined, right? And you guys are currently working on a new one?
Well, no. I joined right after the last record came out.
Oh, okay.
Right, like maybe 4 or 5 months after that record came out.
Oh, okay.
So this record that we got, you know, coming out in June is our first with this lineup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how excited are you about that, to be able to get out there and actually be playing tunes that you actually, you know, had a part in?
Yeah, well, that's exciting. Yeah, finally. You know, making records these days can be very easy, and it can be very difficult to put them out. And we were fortunate to get the opportunity to do the record, and now we had to find a home, and we did, and that was coming out in June, and we just started, you know, adding these songs to the set in the last 2 months, you know, and we played one over that summer tour, but now we've added a couple of more and starting to warm it up, and the reception's been really great, and they're exciting. It really, for us on stage, is nice to be able to play something new. I know it can be a little tough before the record's out for people to stand there and hear a couple of songs they haven't heard yet.
Yeah.
But it's worth it to sit there and hang in there with us and check them out, you know. And then the record will come out in June, and we'll tour pretty heavy on it, you know. We tour regardless of a record or not.
Yeah.
We'll tour even harder in the next 12 months because of the record, and you know, keep putting those new tracks in there and swap them around and stuff. And it's fun. It really breathes, you know, a new life into the set.
And so, what can you tell us about the record now? You say it's coming out in June, but is it fully? Are you fully done with the recording? Or are you still? Recording?
Yeah. We finished recording a while back. I think, you know, the last couple of vocal tracks were done at least a few months ago. So it's really just been getting everything together. You know, you got to send it out to get mastered and do the photos and get the artwork agreed upon and kind of start to pick a single. And now we're looking at a June release. I should actually probably know in the next week or so an actual date. It's been a long process, though. You know, it's been about 2 years making this record.
And can you share with us? Yeah, can you share with us? Can you share with us? I don't know if you're able to talk about it now. Are you signed to a label? You guys going to be releasing it independently?
Yeah, coming out on Cleopatra Records.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, they're pretty. They're pretty good, because I know the last couple of LA Guns albums come out on, and they recently released Enough's Enough, great covers album. So,
right.
So they're really friendly to bands like you guys. So I'm glad to hear you.
Absolutely, yeah, they're great, and they're really behind the record, which is really cool. And you know, we made it without a home really to begin with.
Yeah.
We kind of made it for one label, and then they kind of, you know, went their own way and dissolved, and then we kind of sat there with the record sitting in our hand. And then Cleopatra came along and gave us, you know, a home for the record, which we do need, you know, so we were able to give us that. And they've been really great so far, and you know, put the record out in June, and we'll pick a single, we'll probably do a video, you know, and push it, and see where it goes. I mean, you know, the public's not so hot on buying records, but the good thing about having a pretty broad fan base and a bit of an older fan base is that, you know, if anybody will go and buy a record, it is people over the age of 25.
Yeah, you know, I myself, Nick, I gotta tell you, I still love to have a physical CD in my hand. I always loved looking at the artwork, reading the liner notes and all that.
Absolutely. I mean, that's how I grew up. You know, I used to spend my weekends in record stores.
Yeah,
I'm lucky to live in LA where I can still, from half a mile from my house, I can run over to Amoeba and kill a couple of hours and still kind of, bring back that part of my youth. So that's important, and I do believe we're doing vinyl on this as well, which will be fun.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because I miss that. I mean, to me, Tower Records was the last great record store, and like you were saying, record store, what's that these days? A lot of these young kids growing up today don't even have a clue what we're talking about.
I know, yeah. I mean, it'll be on iTunes and everything too. But, the ability to, for it to be in physical stores is important, and for that vinyl to exist, for me, it really increases the whole idea of putting a record on.
And
it's a solid thing you own, you can feel. That's important in my opinion. From where I came from as a kid growing up looking at Kiss records.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's really key. So I'm glad that we have that.
And chances are, chances are, people come out to see your live show. You'll be selling them at the shows, right? The CD.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll definitely have records on the road. Once that record's out, you'll be able to buy the record at the show. So if there's not a mom and pop or a realistic, easy way to buy it, I don't say that, but if there's not an easy way for you to go buy a record and you want a physical copy and you don't want to order it on Amazon, then it'll definitely be at the merch table, and you can definitely get it signed. And that's another cool thing too, is to be able to buy that and have it signed and go home with it too.
It's like a souvenir from a show. The cool thing to me about that is, I wish they had all the Bull Boys albums and all the Best Buys and stuff. But to me, if you're a big enough fan and you want that album, you'll go to whatever link you have to get it. If it's going to the show, if it's ordering it off of Amazon.com. So I think that's kind of a cool thing about that, because people that are really your fans, they're going to be into supporting the band.
Yeah, and Clio has good distro, and it should be in those Best Buys and the easier way, the easier stores to buy records at. So if you don't have a really cool record store by your house, I always say shop mom and pop first, shop at the indie store first, and keep them in business. Yeah. But if you don't have that, at your fingertips, then you can probably buy it at a Best Buy or buy it at the show, even better, and have it sign it. Yeah, absolutely.
And so let me ask you, Nick, as far as the writing for this new album, was everybody involved, or was Mark the principal songwriter?
Mark, I mean, he's the chief songwriter. I mean, absolutely. It's his band.
Yeah, of course.
I will say that everybody was able to go in and lay their own parts down. So I got to throw some little color parts in there. That gets sort of a creative outlet and guitar. Yeah. But the songs, the hooks, the melodies, the lyrics, the main riffs, that's what's on Mark. I mean, that's his. And he's fantastic at it. I mean, the guy can write a song. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
And I seen that you guys were recording in Dave Grohl's studio. What was that like? And did you get a chance to meet him at all?
Pardon? What was that?
I was saying, did you get a chance to meet him? Being that you guys were recording in his studio.
Oh yeah, well we did that last week. That was that came about. Our publicist Nancy works. She has an MS charity that she has.
Oh, okay.
She has a big show at the Whiskey every year.
Yeah.
And Mark just performed at it a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Different guys from different bands, and it's like a big fundraiser. Well, she had the opportunity to put a couple of her friends on this record, and the proceeds are going to go towards her MS Foundation.
Oh, cool! How cool is that? Yeah.
So it came up literally like last Thursday. We got a call to do it, and we kind of had to get together in a room on Friday. Or I'm sorry, it came together Thursday. We got in a room on Saturday. Worked this new song out from the ground up. Mark had a rough idea, had a good riff, and lyrics and melodies. We arranged it, added some parts. I added some guitar parts, and then we had 90 minutes to go into Dave Grohl's studio and cut it on Sunday.
So is this a new Bull Boys track that's on this compilation, or is it a bunch of musicians getting together?
For us, it's a new Bullet Boys track.
Oh, cool.
It's us. We're going to be on there as Bullet Boys. I'm pretty sure everybody else. I think there might be a couple of like jam band type things, like different guys from different bands on a couple of tracks, and I think the rest will be kind of more solid bands. I don't have a whole list of.
I hear you. And as far as your.
And to answer your question, no, Dave Grohl wasn't there.
Okay.
But what a magical studio, man! What a great experience. I mean, to be able to step foot in there and to use that Sound City board and to know that Paul McCartney had stood there and recorded a track. I mean, those kind of things don't come around every day. So, you know, I like to look at it. It was a cool musical exercise to have to come up with, you know, everything, get it together, and have 90 minutes to track it and get it down. You know, that was a cool little musical exercise, and, you know, great opportunity for a great cause.
And so this,
all around, everybody wins, and it was great. What a killer Sunday last week, you know?
Yeah, what a great cause. And the song that appears on the compilation, is this going to be on a song that appears on the new album as well? Or?
No, hot new track. Exclusive for that record. So
how cool is
it?
If you want to have
that track, you have to buy that record.
How cool is that? How cool is that? So a little extra something.
and hopefully maybe somewhere, you know, we'll sneak it into a set. It's the killer song. You know, 3.5 minutes, powerful, fast and quick, and you know, maybe eventually, sometime later in the year, when that comes out, maybe we'll sneak it in the set. But if you want that track, you have to buy that record. And when that's coming out, and we get a release date, we'll definitely be pushing that and let everybody know. And yeah, it's nice that it's kind of exclusive for that.
Yeah, and now you mentioned Kiss, but I was curious, when you were growing up, Nick, who were some of the bands or guitar players that influenced you?
Yeah, well, Kiss was a big thing. Early Kiss was a big thing for me. I think if you take any kid that grew up in the suburbs in America and you show them a Kiss record, you can probably turn them into a Kiss fan. You know, I mean, I don't care. It's timeless, and it's something that spoke to me in volumes. And of course, that led me to being a big Ace Frehley fan. So that was a lot of my early childhood. But I'm kind of all over the map musically, kind of, sort of, at least, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, as much as I love Ace Frehley, I love Johnny Thunders, too.
Wow.
You know, I also grew up on a lot of punk rock.
Okay.
And that's something that was always kind of big for me as well. You know, the Ramones, and even, like, more 80s hardcore as well was a big thing for me once I hit my teenage years.
Wow.
You know, but Cheap Trick's probably one of my favorite bands in the world. Rick Nielsen's a huge guy for me. The Cult, Billy Duffy was a big influence on my playing. So, you know, I got a wide palette, you know, but
that's great.
It kind of depends on the day.
Yeah, well, that's great, because, you know, I'm the same way with music. I listen to a lot of those guys, and the thing to me is, if it's, you know, if it's good music, you know, you listen with your ears, not necessarily, like, I hated, you know, when grunge music became real popular, and all of a sudden everybody wanted to throw out their Motley Crue albums and stuff. You know, I think if you're a fan, then you'll still be a fan, you know, no matter what the flavor of the month is.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, like I said, I really bounced out. You know, I loved Kiss, I loved Alice Cooper, I loved Cheap Trick, I loved early Aerosmith. You know, those were really important for me as a kid. But then, you know, punk rock was important too. So, you know, like the Dogs and the Ramones and the Pistols, and even into like the Misfits and Black Flag. As I got older, that stuff became really important. But I never got, I never threw out my Motley Crue records.
Yeah.
You know, so it all kind of balanced itself out, and I'm still to this day, you know, my iPod is all over the place when I'm driving around in the car, and I dig that, you know.
Yeah, when we talk about bands like, you know, Alice and, you know, Kiss, the great thing about bands like that is, you know, as great as the music is, you know, they have a great rock show, they have the look. So I was curious, when you first you know, became aware of Kiss, did you become a fan at first more because of the look, the music, or a combination of both?
I think it was everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, and I thought, you know, I bet you if you put me in the middle of America in the suburbs, and you gave me some 10-year-old kid who has a pretty clear mind and can kind of be molded and shaped, and you introduce him to Kiss the right way, you can probably turn that kid into a Kiss fan. Because of that superhero aspect.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it was that image. That image is insanely important. It's so important that they got two other guys wearing the makeup, you know?
Yeah, people can say...
You know, and the songs, and they were simple, they were easy to wrap your head around, and as a kid that was learning how to play an instrument, it was easy to start to, you know, work your way around those songs rather than a Rush record.
Yeah. And people can say what they want about Kiss to me, you know, and they can say about what they want about, you know, Tommy and Eric wearing the makeup like Ace Peter, but you know what? They're still packing, you know, arenas. People are still buying tickets. They can still do it 40 years into their career. So, you know, there's something, you know, you can't really argue with the success they've had.
No, it's you know what, man? It's like Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
You know, there's a different guy at the plant making the Coca-Cola right now than you did when you were a kid. But you know, when you get home, it still tastes like Coca-Cola. You know, and that's kind of the theory that you can have with Kiss, I guess. It's a brand. It's recognizable. You know, it takes you back to a certain point in your life, and when you go, you're going to get what you paid for.
Yeah,
you know, they're certainly not going to cheapen out on you. So, yeah, and it'll live on.
And I got it.
The kids discover it now, like I was saying. I think it'll be, you know, I think it's a cornerstone in rock.
And I laugh sometimes when I hear, Gene and Paul say, they're going to retire in a few years and get, they're going to actually hire their own replacements. But this is, I think the only band where you could see something like that happen and they would remain successful.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they do it. I'll sit that one out.
Yeah.
Surprised if they do that. And more power to them, man.
Yeah, and so I was curious, how old were you when you first started playing the guitar?
I picked one up when I was 5.
Wow.
When did I get serious? When did I get good?
Yeah, I just, when did you start playing? Or I was kind of curious, why was it the guitar that that's your instrument you chose? I always love to ask guys that.
I grew up around music.
Yeah.
I did. I grew up around music, and my brother played guitar, and there were guitars in the house. And I picked one up really early, and I never really put one down growing up. I picked one up really early, and then I certainly started to mold myself and get better. As I got a little bit older, but I was always around one. And it just kind of spoke to me. I don't know.
And being that your brother was playing guitar, did he kind of teach you, or did you take lessons, or kind of teach yourself?
I pretty much taught myself, really.
Cool.
I still have to sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I taught myself, for the most part. Some books and some records will go a long way. Really sitting there and playing along the records is really how I learned how to play guitar.
So you can actually...
I was never into going to music school, or, I think there are things you can teach, and I think there are things you can learn if you have it in you and you want to. I think anybody can really learn if they want to.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in, again, anybody can do what they want to do, but for me, it wasn't about, musical education. Yeah. Musical education was me learning by records and playing in bands when I was a kid.
Yeah, see, that's the thing to me. I loved a lot of these guitar players from the 80s, and, guys like Steve Vai that put out this, shred-type music. But, then there are guys that they're just real technical players. They kind of think too much. And, there's room for everything to me. But, I kind of like the guys that kind of not think so much, but they kind of just play with what sounds right or what feels right,
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's where I have to come from. Because that's all I know. I never wanted to be a noodle guy.
Yeah.
It wasn't ever. I never bought any of those records.
Yeah.
The instrumental records and stuff. More power to those guys. It's great.
Yeah.
They have a. There's a calling for that, and there's an audience for that.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. However, it just never spoke to me.
Yeah.
I'm a song guy. No matter what, I'm into a song. The hook and the vocal to me is more important than what the guitar is really doing.
Yeah. And do you remember, Nick, what was the first song you learned how to play on the guitar? One of the first songs?
I had to. That's like my first concert question, and I always had to sit down and try and really figure it out. It was definitely a Kiss song.
Okay.
And God, I'm leaning towards maybe it might have been Cold Gin.
Yeah. Okay. And I was curious if you can remember how old were you when you wrote your first original song or piece of music?
I would fool around with that. Always, even when I was really young. I was always. I was like they set me to the corner.
Yeah.
And I'd sing a song about it. That was the truth, actually. But when I started to get serious about writing and stuff, probably when I was in my early teens. I think I joined my first band when I was 13, 14.
Wow.
And get everybody in a garage and start writing. And as you should, I think that's the best way you can learn, trial by error.
Yeah.
And just kind of start as young as possible. So yeah, probably my early teens.
And now a lot of guys are working musicians these days. What was the point in your life when you decided what I want to try to take a stab at being a professional musician, make this my living?
Early, all around that same time. I never really thought about doing anything else, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
But I never really, I never planned on furthering education. I graduated high school, and I packed my car, and I moved to LA.
And now you're living the dream, so to speak.
Yeah, here I am.
And
now, from Hollywood, California.
And going back,
it just nothing else really spoke to me.
Yeah.
I just knew I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and I wasn't really going to let anything get in my way. And I started making money playing music when I was in high school still.
Wow.
I found a way to make money as a kid playing music, so I've been doing it for really most of my life. That's the one thing that's been consistent for my entire life.
And how cool is that? Because it's really allowed you the opportunity to, do what you want, and you actually, it actually allows you to go to work and enjoy what you do, as opposed to.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it can get grueling, and when you're away from home for 7 weeks in a bus, it can get tiresome and it can get difficult. However, I do realize I stop and remind myself that there are plenty of people that would pay to be in that position, not get paid to be in that position.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to suck it up.
Yeah.
And honestly, I get home from the road and I spend a week or two decompressing, and then I want to go back out again because it's been so constant in my life. I started touring when I was 18, so when I get away from it, I start to get stir crazy. I'm actually, believe it or not, at my best when I'm out there working and traveling.
Yeah, I bet.
Because it's again that thing that's just been so consistent through my life.
Yeah, and now going back 5 years when you first joined the band, could you share with us? I mean, that must have been like one of the ultimate, accomplishments in your life. What was it like? Were you nervous before you played that first Bullet Boy show, or what was it like? I mean,
I had done a lot of touring and a lot of work before that. I was actually, I was seasoned before that. However, it came up really quick because, Mark didn't know if he needed guys or not, what the situation was going to be. And we were like, well, let's talk about it a little bit later. And then it was like, hey, we got to do this like next week. I need you next week. And I pretty much learned the songs on the way to the first gig for the most part. I had a few days at home, and I kind of finished it up in a ride up to Wisconsin at the first show. And the three of us, myself and Chad and Johnny G, our drummer at the time, got into soundcheck and ran the set without Mark, and then did the show without a hitch, and rolled from there.
And so, talking about when you first joined, I was curious, how long did it take you to learn the material, or did you kind of already know it by the time you joined the band?
No, I didn't know the set before I joined the band. I had to learn everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then getting back to the new album you guys have coming out in June, I was curious as far as the material. Is this material was freshly written just for this album? Any of it been laying around for a couple of years?
No, it was fresh.
Oh, that's cool.
It's something Mark wrote over the last few years.
Oh, cool.
Kind of leading up to this. I kind of knew what was what when it was coming out because he would play some stuff, sound checks. We were starting to get familiar with some of these things he was working on. So yeah, it was written over from the time that Chad and I kind of got in the band up until we tracked it. It's fresh. I think there was some things that he maybe had written parts of before and finished now, but for the most part, it was all fresh new music. Yeah, of course.
Now, of course, you and Mark both play guitar. At the live shows. Does he play guitar in the new album as well, or do you just?
Absolutely, yeah. He plays guitar all over the record. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Both of us do. Yeah.
Yeah, and so as far as how you guys split the parts, I imagine you do most of the leads, right?
Mark plays a lot of the lead. The cool thing with us is that we are actually both lead players.
Oh, okay.
That's the cool thing is we can kind of trade some things off. We can harmonize. He winds up playing a lot of this, because he was just kind of already in the mode of doing that.
Yeah.
When I joined, it was like these are the parts to learn, and those are the parts that I learned. But then we kind of switched some things up, and we have some different sections of the set, so it just depends on the song and how it was. We haven't really struck with the arrangements on the old stuff. We haven't really strayed from how we originally started doing it when I walked in. But that's the cool thing is that we both are lead players, so you kind of have that.
Okay.
That two lead guitar aspect of the band, which is cool, rather than one guy just solidly playing rhythm. There's some things that we embellish in there. There's a cool part in THC Groove that is a live thing that we wrote live over the last couple of years that goes over really well. We do this little kind of Thin Lizzy-esque harmony thing.
Okay.
So that's what's kind of fun about having two guys up front that are both really solid guitar players, because his guitar playing is great. He should be, it's great that he plays guitar. He didn't do it back in the day, but he's obviously a guitar player. Then now he has that ability that he can do what he wants to be able to play guitar, which is awesome.
Yeah, because a lot of people, typically just think of him as a singer, like you said. But I don't know if it's true, but you've been playing with him like 5 years, so maybe I was reading online that I guess early on that he was one of the guitar players in Rat back in the day.
He was.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, he was.
Wow.
Very early on, he was. He did play a lot of guitar around town before he started singing and had his own band singing. You know, he had quite a history actually as a guitar player. A lot of the cats that were around back then that are still kicking around now talk about remembering seeing him as a young kid playing guitar. He was really young then, you know. So yeah, it's great. Now he has this outlet where he can do his thing, play his catalog, and sing and play and enjoy himself. That's what he wants to do. So that's great. You know, because if you're not enjoying yourself at this aspect of the game, then you got to go home. And no, he enjoys it. So you should be able to do it the way you want to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure playing with these guys, you guys check out each other's, past albums and stuff. I was curious, he'd also, before the Bolt Boys even kind of launched, he'd done some work with Carmine Appice. Have you ever heard any of the stuff he did with Carmine?
Like the King Cobra?
Yeah, the King Cobra stuff.
Well, that was Mick that played guitar in King Cobra.
No, but
Mark came in and sang briefly.
Yeah, right before they launched him.
Yeah, I don't believe there was a whole lot recorded with him.
Oh, okay.
If there was, it's beyond me. I don't know. But I know that that's kind of how those guys actually got together. I believe they kind of all kind of gelled by doing that King Cobra thing right before they went out.
Yeah, and I don't know if you want to talk about this or not. It's all right if you don't. I understand. But I was curious. What do you guys think about Mick and Jimmy and Lonnie going out with their new band and doing the Bolt Boys?
That's probably a loaded question.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Stuff that comes up with bands that split apart.
Yeah.
Did everybody have a part? Did all those guys have a part in making that music? Yeah. Is it really my place to say who should do what they're going to do?
No. I guess at least.
I think it's easiest to say this.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to come out and hear those songs, they want to hear the singer. So okay, that's fine. You can do that.
Yeah.
But you come see us, and it still sounds like the band, believe it or not, and we have the singer, which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Honestly. So you can kind of take that as it is, but
Yeah, I gotta say, because I hear what you're saying, but at least they're not, two Bullet Boys, like, two LA Guns and two Rats and stuff. So I guess that's
never gonna happen.
That's never gonna.
And, Marco's the name, and he's been doing it for quite a long time on his own without those guys. So again, besides Lonnie, I really don't have any history
with the guys.
I don't have anything to do with that. I don't know the other guys at all. So it's not my place to step in and say.
I hear you. It's a loaded question, like you said.
And that's fine. We're out there doing our thing, making new music, playing the old stuff, playing the new stuff, and I think that speaks for itself.
Yeah, and they are calling it something else. So I give them credit for that, but it hasn't caused any confusion. I mean, people aren't going to.
No, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. And again, logistically wise, we're not going to be able to. We tour. We work hard throughout the year, and we're out there all the time. So people know we exist. People know what we're doing. If those guys are going to go out there and do their jam thing and play old songs, that's fine. In my opinion, whatever.
And
I'm more focused on what we're doing and put this record out and kind of moving from there.
And like I said, Nick, you're talking to a guy that when I seen you guys play that Anaheim House of Blues, opening up for Quiet Riot and Gilby, I was just totally amazed. I mean, you guys really had the place rocking, and you may not be the original members, but you guys, all I can say is, you did not leave a crowd disappointed. Everybody, just was going Bullet Boy crazy that night.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, again, that's all we can do. We can go out there and play live and play the old stuff, play the new stuff, and move forward and make sure everybody gets their dollar's worth and give them a good night. And be a working band, is which we are.
Yeah, I can't wait for a new album to hear what it sound like when it hits. Now, once that new album hits, how much of a new album do you think you'll throw into the set? Do you think you'll throw the new songs in gradually? You said you've been playing a couple of them already, but
yeah, I think it's safe to say there's always going to be 3 or 4 of them in the set.
Yeah.
We have the stuff we need to play.
Yeah.
That's not going to leave. There's the standards and the songs that are expected to be played, so we play those. And we'll probably get creative with a couple of the older songs too. Maybe switch out some of the older songs to do some stuff we haven't done in a while.
Yeah.
Which is always kind of fun. That's kind of the nice thing about doing an album cycle tour rather than just touring off the catalog, is that it kind of gets into a rehearsal room and we can start to kind of get fresh ideas into changing the setup. But I think on headline shows there'll be a pretty steady 3 to 4 at least cuts from the record. And we might switch them around. I think we're gonna be ready to play most of those songs. So on multiple shows, you
cool.
You're still going to get all the classics. You're still going to get what you,
Yeah.
you know,
What you expect.
Knowing, but of course, for promoting a record, you're going to get a good portion of it live in the set, you know.
And then as far as when you guys were recording, I was curious, did you do it the new modern way where everybody kind of records their parts separately, or was everybody kind of in the studio?
And everything was pretty separate. I mean, to be honest with you, yeah. You know?
Yeah.
We were all around, but, you know, Chad lives in Arizona, you know, so he had to get out here and do his parts in a certain amount of time, and in a time we allowed it for that, because you only have so much time to go make the record.
Yeah.
You know? But that's kind of the wonders of being able to make records the way you can now, you know?
Yeah. And now Nick...
drums were done, then bass was done. I mean, it really wouldn't have changed the difference, but no, we didn't record it all live in the room.
Yeah.
That's something that I would like to do in the future.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what we did last week. It's great. That's how I really like doing things. It's not always possible.
Yeah. Okay.
So, you know, that's how we did it. But at the end product never, you know, really strays away from there. That's, you know, anything else is more just vanity of how you feel when you're recording. That's all.
And so let me ask you, is the new album fully, you know, you're just waiting for a release date, as you said, but is it fully mixed and everything? Have you heard the final?
Yeah, it is. I've heard the whole thing. In fact, we played it over the PA a couple of weeks ago. We played it at the Whiskey.
And so what was it like?
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing over those huge speakers, you know?
Yeah, what was it? So what was it like the first time you heard that, you know, that fresh new Bullet Boys recording with you on the...
I was driving around. Mark showed me the tracks, and I was driving around, and it was exciting to have, you know, this finished product, to have that new music there. And you can start to think about shaping that and playing it live and bringing it out, you know?
I bet. Now we've been talking a lot about the Bullet Boys because that's, you know, your main gig, but do you have anything else you're involved with currently that you want to let people know about?
You know, I mean, I do pop up doing other things here and there. And I stay pretty active when we're off the road, but, you know, nothing that's
immediate right now.
Too exciting. Yeah, you know.
Okay, well, you know, Nick, I really enjoyed talking to you, and I'd like you to do me a favor and keep in touch, keep my contact info, because when the album drops in June, I'd like to talk to you again, and I'd really help you get the word out about the album, promote it.
Great, yeah, man, I greatly appreciate it. I'll keep you posted. Like I said, we should get a release date here, man, in the next week or two, I believe.
Okay.
So once we start doing that, we'll do a big push for the record.
Okay, and I'll be happy to write up a review for the CD once it comes out. But in the meantime, like I was telling you, this interview will be going on our site in mid-April. Once I get a date for that, I'll let you know. And I think I got your email, so I'll be able to send you an MP3 copy of the interview later, and you can do whatever you want with that.
Perfect. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it.
Take care, my friend. Bye-bye.